So I just got done cutting my hair, and I am not a hairdresser, so I probably need a little help to clean it up. But it made me think about something that happened about 25 years ago. My daughter decided to cut her hair. We must have a gene for impulsive hair cutting in the family. Anyway, she cut it even shorter than mine is now. And so we took her to a hairdresser to have it fixed up, and they basically said, well, we have to shave it, and then she can start over, which is maybe where I'm going to be tomorrow or the next day when I can get in to see somebody. So the day after she got her hair shaved, she went to school, and she came home and said, Mommy, the kids thought I was a boy. Isn't that silly? I still have a vagina. Okay, kindergarten. She literally said this, and I think about that a lot, and I am so sorry I just said literally because that's one of my pet peeves. So to anybody out there who just cringed when I said literally, sorry. But I realized that now that I've just cut all my hair off, I am no less a woman than I was an hour ago when I had long curly hair. I am still a woman. And it just strikes me as how absurd the trans narrative is, and how it is enforcing really negative stereotypes of what beauty is, of what femininity is, of what being a woman is. And this relates to a post that I recently saw where a man who claims to believe he identifies as a woman just got facial feminization surgery. $80,000, and his health insurance paid for it. So this man has health insurance pay for him to look prettier. But if I wanted to go get cosmetic surgery to look prettier, my insurance isn't going to cover it unless I say that I identify as a man and need the surgery in order to look more masculine. Now, how absurd is that? How absurd is it that we now have men defining what it looks like to be a woman? How is it that we are telling kids that the way they present is indicative of who they are at a biological level? So this is all really frustrating and absurd. And I have no problem accepting, embracing, and supporting people who have gender dysphoria and are doing what they can to struggle with a mental health issue. What I do have a problem with is men who are claiming to identify as a woman in order to gain access to spaces where women are vulnerable. Because guess what? The reason that person doesn't want to go into the men's room when they are dressed like a woman, when they are presenting as a woman, is because traditionally it's not safe for women to be alone in vulnerable spaces like bathrooms. So instead they're coming into women's rooms. And if I thought 100% of the trans women who wanted to have access to locker rooms and bathrooms were gender dysphoric and had extreme mental health issues and had to present as the opposite gender in order to calm those feelings of dis-ease, I would be less concerned. But after watching the trans movement evolve, I am 100% sure that most of the men who are claiming to identify as women are either autogynephilic, which means they get sexually aroused at the idea of being a woman and passing as a woman, or they're predators, and they're using this trans moment to gain access to women and children where they're vulnerable. Either way, it's not okay. Either way, the hair does not define whether or not you're male or female. Makeup, boobs, none of these define whether or not we're male or female. Our chromosomes define whether we're male or female. Our biology defines whether we're male or female. As my daughter says, I still have a vagina. And she did. And this is where I want to go, is that she was in kindergarten. So her fellow kindergartners thought that because she had short hair, she was a boy now. This is how kindergartners think. They are very black and white and simplistic in their thinking. This is what we are trying to affirm and approve of now, this kindergarten level of thinking, that just because you present externally as something, that you are in fact that something. We are also in danger of really hurting children who at 5 years old think that the length of your hair defines whether you're a boy or girl. And if we have people telling these children that if they prefer to do stereotypical female activities, that they're actually a boy, and if they prefer traditional male activities, they're actually no, wait, let me get that straight. This gets so confusing, doesn't it? It's wonderful. It's so confusing. So basically what we're telling children is if they are gender nonconforming in their behavior or presentation, that they're actually something that they're not. And this is a great way to reinforce self-hatred in kids and get them very confused. And so I believe that the trans movement started out probably with good intentions by people like me, who not long ago wrote a letter to the editor supporting the idea that trans people should use whatever bathroom they want, because we're genuinely loving, caring people. But now we're seeing the backlash and what's happening. And what we're seeing is predators using our kindness and understanding as an opportunity to take advantage of women and children. We're seeing autogynephilic men who are now pushing the idea of what it means to be a woman, even though they're not women. And what turns them on is very traditional, stereotypical women. Okay, there isn't an autogynephile who gets turned on by a woman who looks like me with short hair, freckles, and tiny, tiny breasts, okay? Autogynephilic men get turned on by, this stereotype of the Playboy model. And so they're reinforcing the idea that that's how women are supposed to look. So our health insurance rates are going up now because autogynephilic men have convinced insurance companies that they will die if they don't get cosmetic surgery. Well, women like me who have legitimate issues that need addressed medically are denied coverage because somebody's going through and determining what gets to be covered and what doesn't. And a lot of things that women actually need to benefit from are considered non-essential, and they're not covered by insurance. And yet, $80,000 for facial feminization surgery is covered by Starbucks insurance. Wow. Okay, so I'm tempted to go get a job at Starbucks and then say, hey, I would like some cosmetic surgery. I'm not real happy with how I look as I'm getting older. I wouldn't mind a chin tuck, maybe get these lines out. Oh, maybe get my eyes lifted and see if they'll cover it, because we know they will not. Okay, so now men who claim to believe that they identify as women have more rights than women. This is not about equality. This is about a certain subgroup of men defining what it means to be a woman and actually oppressing and subjugating biological women. So hope I can find someone to fix my haircut. And I'm glad that the vast majority of those who are watching this video know that I am still a woman, even though I have a goofy short haircut, because I was born that way. Thanks.